But she told you she's done?
Yes.
Like those words?
Rumors are abuzz, whispers are leaking, and the Browns' silence deafening. As the Sister Wives fans anticipate season 20 in 2025, the real storm may already be brewing out of view far away from the camera. From secret contract signings and exits backstage to stunning memoir drops and potential OG3 spin-off that could be the ruination of Kody's legacy forevermore, the drama has never been so fierce. Is this the end page of Sister Wives in the form we know, or the spark that ignites something even greater into flames? Buckle up. This is not rumor mongering. It's a seismic power shift in magnitude. There was once a time when Kody Brown never had to battle for attention. It came as a matter of course, like gravity. The head of the Brown family was not simply a husband or father. He was the focal point of 4 wives and 18 kids. His views raised eyebrows. His moods influenced storyline. And his image dominated the spotlight. Every tantrum, every tear, and every rant about loyalty and obedience helped to fashion a larger-than-life persona. Today, though, that persona is unraveling, not in over-the-top fashion, but with a seeping, humiliating erosion. Kody, the emblem of a fleeting cultural moment, is drifting toward the edge of a story that no longer includes him. The shift wasn't sudden, but Kody felt it, like a chill in the atmosphere. At first, it was subtle. Fans praising Christine's new glow, Janelle's firm independence, and Meri's snarky live video. Then the tone changed. Applause grew louder. Comments grew sharper. The gravitational center moved. Posts that once highlighted him now mock him. Viral moments that used to ignite from his rants are now sparked by Christine, spinning beneath the Eiffel Tower, or Janelle in her PJs sipping tea at sunset. Kody's not even forgotten. He's overshadowed. And for a man whose existence was very much built around being watched, that erasure is more painful than any slur ever hurled his way. Where he once claimed space with thunderous presence, now the silence roars louder than all of his own words. The OG3 don't even have to fight him. They don't even have to. Their joy, their quiet forward progress, is the most visible contrast to the version of Kody still clinging to tatters of control. The women he once kept behind him have moved on, eyes forward, and in that quiet insurrection, in that streamlined distance, Kody is left hovering at the periphery of a spotlight, no longer trained on him. They didn't scream. They didn't write veiled threats or tell-alls. Meri, Janelle, and Christine simply moved on. And incredibly, that was the most successful insurrection the Sister Wives world had ever witnessed. No one expected quiet speaking so loudly. But each photograph of Christine beaming abroad, each Meri livestream filled with insider humor with Jen, each gentle merch release from Janelle, all told the same story. We're okay without him. What is so compelling about their ascension isn't the radiating happiness of theirs. It's Kody's utter lack thereof in all of it. For years, they danced around him, talked him down, endlessly attempted to make it all work. Now, he isn't even a footnote in their news. No heartbreak confessions, no rehashing old pain, simply gorgeous skin, genuine laughter, new beginning, and women who literally look freer than they ever did under his shadow. It's a masterclass in subtlety. Where Kody used to steal the spotlight with chaos and soapbox monologues, the OG3 now command attention by remaining utterly silent. And the fans caught on immediately. Comments were turned into virtual love letters. You are so peaceful. We can sense your happiness. This is healing. The buzz traveled throughout the fandom. We're watching these women emerge, and we're emerging with them. It's a deep emotional catharsis for longtime viewers who watched these women twist themselves into knots in a bid to survive polygamy. Now, they're selecting themselves, out loud, openly, with no requirement for revenge. But below the placid surface, one question simmers. How much longer can Kody remain silent? How much longer until silence becomes a meltdown? Because if there's anything that demonstrates how far the OG3 have journeyed, it's this. They no longer revolve around his narrative. And for Kody, there is nothing worse than being cut from the script altogether. Kody was not designed for quiet. So when applause dissipated and cameras landed on another target to film, desperation was not far behind. Rumors in production meetings started going around. He had pitched a solo special. Just him. Just one chair. One spotlight. One final attempt at sharing his side of things. No wives, no interruption, just Kody, a flashlight, and a stage carefully constructed where he could reclaim the story, argue the account of what had happened that everyone else had already bought into, and maybe, just maybe, remind everyone that he was the one who had made Sister Wives possible in the first place. But in private, the response wasn't so smooth. Eyebrows were raised, eyes rolled. One source admitted that it felt more like a plea for assistance and less like a proposal. Producers, the same people who used to build entire seasons around Kody's personal meltdowns and patriarchal monologues, weren't buying it. The shows evolve, one allegedly said. The audiences evolve. Because while Kody views this as a redemption story, fans just see a repeat. And TLC? They're looking at the rating. Audiences aren't showing up for Kody's perspective anymore. They're tuning in for Christine's happiness, Janelle's quiet strength, and Meri's chaotic unpredictability. Still, Kody pushed harder, reportedly pitching titles like Kody, Unfiltered, or The Real Patriarch, even offering to interview himself if no one else would join him. "Just let me speak uninterrupted for once," he allegedly snapped during a heated phone call. But what was sounded good in intent rang as a joke, because, sincerely, solo speaking was what Kody had for years, while the women were silenced, undermined, and talked over. Now power is in the network. The limelight is on the women. And Kody? He's playing deaf as if silence is a tragedy, completely unaware that it's the very thing fans have been craving for. A Sister Wives with no Kody at its core. A story that can finally breathe without him involved. When the silence became too oppressive, Kody did what Kody always does. He tried to turn the spotlight back on himself. Sources claim he called up TLC with what he believed was a genius idea, an all-Kody special. Solo, without why, without messy drama. Kody, center stage, speaking his truth. In his mind, this was the comeback, the redemption, the instant when he regained control over a tale he felt was stolen from him. "Let me speak uninterrupted for once," he seemingly commanded. The irony? That's exactly what he did every time. But behind closed doors, the reception wasn't warm. Producers weren't excited. Some were reportedly fighting not to laugh. The guy who once owned each shot now appeared like a leftover afterthought, proffering a vanity item nobody asked for. One source indicated that the room chilled the moment his name was even mentioned. "There's no appetite for a Kody monologue," they reportedly said in so many words. Because here's the truth, Sister Wives is no longer about Kody. And viewers? They're done buying what he's been selling. It's a poetic reversal. The same man who demanded unwavering obedience from his wives is now asking, begging, for airtime. The voice that once overpowered Meri's quiet pain, Christine's exhaustion, and Janelle's resilience is now fading into background noise, while their transformation takes center stage. While Kody chases relevance, the women attract it effortlessly. No shouting, no dramatic monologues, just present. But Kody just doesn't understand yet. He clings to the idea that he produced the show, that he made the women star, that they're where they're at because of him. What he can't comprehend is something the fans understood a long time ago. The show moved on. The fans moved on, and the women? They're not surviving without him. They're thriving. Kody's solo special never may see the light of day, but his redundancy? Already streaming in real time. It started as a joke, a stupid joke, a glance exchanged, a live stream that amounted to more like two college roommates joking around than something scripted or strategic. But in some way, Meri Brown and her best friend of all time, Jen, opened a door no one foresaw, and the web just couldn't get enough of it. They labeled themselves the Salty Birches, a title loaded with innuendo and ironic jest. In weeks, their chaotic live streams were a haven for followers famished for something real, raw, unedited, and oddly cathartic. On the surface, it was humor. They guffawed over bras dating back to their kids, swapped skincare tips mid-sentence, and dropped saucy one-liners with the carefree abandon of women who no longer felt the need to cover their mouths. But beneath the guffaws, something much more profound was churning. Years of unexpressed emotion at last bursting open. Those weren't jokes. Those were stealthy punches hidden between mascara applicator tips and stammering pauses. And there was one name that was never spoken. Kody. His absence was the hardest punchline of all. Whenever Meri could no longer hold in a laugh at a scandalous product, or Jen let loose with a snark about being finally given permission to be happy, it wasn't shade. It was freedom. The same woman who once begged for crumbs of affection from a man who barely noticed her is now a social media star, spinning her pain into punchline and attracting thousands to each live stream. This is not revenge in the classical sense. It's a reclamation, not loud or abrasive, but sly and biting, delivered with a smirk. And fans? They're devout devouring it. Comments pour in. This is the Meri we've been waiting for. And I didn't know she was this funny, because that's the whole point. No one ever allowed her to be. Kody never saw it. TLC never showed it. But Jen did. And now, their friendship has become more than just entertainment. It's evident. Proof that Meri's story isn't finished. It's just finally being spoken on her own terms. Janelle Brown once stood on bare land with sparkling eyes and even higher aspirations. A woman starting literally from the ground up. Leaving behind the Flagstaff disaster and the emotional bankruptcy of polygamy, she stuck an RV on her own plot of land and claimed it. No mansion, no co-wife drama, nothing but open sky, solid ground, and a new beginning. That picture, Janelle in boots, squinting into the future, became a symbol. She wasn't escaping. She was planting roots, and fans, hungry for a message of women's independence, rallied behind her. Then along came Janelle Says, a merch line built from the very quotations that once moved fans to tears. I don't need a husband. I need peace. This is not what I signed up for. They weren't just pithy catchphrases. They were raw truths, merchandised. Hoodies, mugs, aprons, flying off virtual shelves. To so many, Janelle became a beacon, a woman who shed dysfunction and turned her toughness into a brand. But as the sales rolled in, a new question started brewing just below the celebration. Whatever happened to the farm? Tata Farms, the dream she'd once told her daughter and son-in-law she shared, had promised tours, flower fields, a legacy to endure. But nearly a year later, fans began to notice the silence. No major tours, no external progress. Some sporadic Instagram posts with vague captions and reassuring noises. The comments began, innocently enough at first, then questioning. We love you, Janelle, but where's the farm? Are you still building? Or was it all about the merch? And that's where things get murky. There's no evidence of foul play, but perception is starting to slip. Janelle has always been seen as the down-to-earth one, the no-nonsense, get-things-done sister wife. But now, with rumors flying about delays, permits, and missing updates, her fans are looking for more than quotes. They want answers. She's given honesty before. Will she do it again? Or is the brand slowly shifting from earth to ether, from property to posts? Christine didn't ever need to yell to be heard. Not really. Her power resided in the quiet, the pauses rife with compromise, the smiles that hid the strangling. But now, after seasons of holding back, she's putting it all on record. Her upcoming memoir isn't a book. It's a quiet bomb set to explode. And unlike the glossy tell-alls or edited confessionals, this story, it's hers, entirely. Finally. The title hasn't even been announced, yet anticipation is already frenzy. Early whispers are that it's unsparing. Not angry, but clinical. This isn't Christine screaming. It's Christine reporting. From emotional abandonment so subtle to the ravaging betrayal of watching Kody's love dry up day by day. Word by word, she's supposedly stripping away layer by layer the fantasy facade of polygamy. No need to speak Robin's name. Her shadow says it all. This is not a memoir of what was done, but how it felt. The hollow pang of being a wife only when it was convenient. The debris of being replaced. Emotionally, spiritually, even economically. Yet in the pain, too, there's rebirth. That iconic photo of Christine twirling before the Eiffel Tower, social media captured, was not a simple vacation photo. It became a symbol. Not a visitor gimmick, but a declaration. A moment of release. A quiet, unshakable, I'm done. And for once, she meant it. But the real suspense, the piece she hasn't shared yet, is what fans are obsessively speculating about. Will she reveal the exact moment Kody truly gave up? Will she expose the filming chaos that unfolded while her heart silently shattered? Will she finally confirm what so many have long speculated about Robin's mastermind status from behind the scenes and TLC's possible role in helping to create the illusion? Publishers are already dubbing it a bestseller. And Kody? Undefined. He's reportedly furious, or maybe just afraid. For a man who's spent his whole life gripping the narrative with white knuckles, this book might be the first instance where he's not only locked out, but left fully exposed. And after all, the breakdown, the betrayal, and decades of insidious abandonment, it wasn't some grand apology or on-camera redemption arc that finally acknowledged Christine's worth. It wasn't with fanfare that it came, but with a check. Quiet, cold, and buried in paperwork. The news has broken that a private agreement has been reached. Kody is now officially paying child support for Truly. No confetti, no tearful Instagram post, just signatures and dollar signs. And finally, after years of fans watching Christine's single parent, while Kody emotionally ran around in circles for Robin, this twist of fate is a little bit of poetic justice. Not because money compensates for the damage, it never could, but because after all his shouting about fairness and equal sacrifice, Kody is finally being called on to pay the price, and not in attention, in dollars. It's the timing, however, that has people talking. Just as Christine is gearing up for her memoir launch and book tour, the child support checks begin to arrive. Some say it's tactical, damage control in anticipation of public outcry. Others think it's a begrudging admission of guilt. Either way, it's too little too late. Christine, though, she's been silent, and that silence is deafening. She doesn't need Kody anymore. Not for support, not for validation, not even for a reaction. He pays now because the system demands it, not because his heart is in it. But this goes beyond Truly's well-being. It's symbolic. For years, Christine pleaded for emotional presence. Now, all she gets from Kody is a bank transfer. As she enters bookstores, met with applause and genuine admiration, there is one sound louder than all of the applause: the silence of Kody Brown. No public statement, no coded caption, not even a passive-aggressive comment dropped into a podcast monologue. He's gone, not just from her life, but from the very narrative he once controlled. And the irony stings. The guy who used to get to decide who mattered is now a ghost, lurking at the edges of a narrative he can no longer dictate. Fans note it. How can they not? With every smile Christine offers a fan, every further copy of her book she autographs, every assured step she takes onto a stage, Kody's absence is part of the image. His silence doesn't seem like graciousness. It seems like retreat. Not a graceful step aside, but the sullen silence of one who's realized the spotlight isn't his and never really was. There was a time the cameras trailed his every word. Now, they've moved on without him. Christine is no longer Kody's ex. She's a writer, a speaker, a woman finally written in her own script. And Kody? He's not even a footnote. His name may be mentioned in her memoir, but only as something she endured, not someone she worships. This isn't revenge. It's erasure. The coup de grace isn't some grand confrontation. It's nothing. For a man whose identity depended on control, exposure, and worship, to be ignored is the deepest wound of all. And for Christine, silence is golden. Rumors are swirling louder than ever, meanwhile. Not just outlandish fan theories, but production insider murmurs, trademark applications, and cryptic social cues. Are Meri, Janelle, and Christine hatching the ultimate revenge together? New show? Podcast kingdom? Maybe even an anything goes streaming docuseries where they tell their truths, completely unfiltered? No TLC soft editing, no Robin rewrites, and no Kody meddling whatsoever. If so, this would not just be a career pivot, it would be a storytelling revolution. Imagine it. The three women once relegated to supporting roles now fully in control of the pen, writing the next chapter unapologetically, unleashed. It's not drama for drama's sake. It's taking back their voices, their stories, their legacy. Christine's already proven the demand is there. Meri and Jen have turned train wreck live streams into appointment viewing. And Janelle, her brand succeeds under the radar, reliably, intentionally. Together, they wouldn't just get an audience, they'd own one. It would be the ultimate upending of everything Sister Wives once stood for. Kody's unity dream shattered. His attention monopoly gone. The same audience he once dictated to hangs on every uncut word of the women he tossed aside. And the OG3? They're not engaging. They're producing. It doesn't matter when it premieres next month or next year. The possibilities of a woman-led platform headed by these three are already killing fans with excitement. Because after years of coded pain, courteous brush-offs, and hijacked joy, the most risky thing may be this: speaking straight, together, and with proof. And when the moment for that comes, Kody won't just be cancelled. He'll be outdated. As season 20 is produced, one thing's for sure: Kody Brown is no longer the boss. And maybe he never was. For more uncut truth, hidden hints, and the real story behind the Sister Wives empire, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because here at Reality Recap, we don't just recap, we expose, decode, and dig deeper than anyone else. I'm Am, and this is Reality Recap, where the drama never gets edited.